welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about proposals, but probably not in the way you're used to. We're going to move way beyond just a simple list of services and actually get into how to craft a strategic document that doesn't just get read, it gets a yes. So let's dive in. So, picture this. That new client brief just landed on your desk. It's full of potential, sure, but it's also a bit of a puzzle, right? Where do you even start? Now, most people jump straight into brainstorming channels. But you know what? That's a mistake. The real work, the work that actually wins the deal, starts much, much earlier than that. And this is really the core difference. Most proposals are just a laundry list. We'll do some Google, some Meta, maybe some TikTok. Any agency on the planet can do that. A winning proposal is different. It weaves all those channels into a unique, logical story that shows the client not just what you'll do, but how you think. That's the secret sauce. So, where does all that strategic thinking even begin? It begins right here. Before you write a single word of your proposal, your very first job is to put on your detective hat and really, truly interrogate the brief. Here are the 4 pillars you absolutely have to pressure test right away: the timeline for execution, the total budget, the KPIs or key performance indicators, and of course, the definition of the target audience. The success of your entire proposal really hinges on whether these 4 things are actually reasonable. And this really says it all. A client might come to you wanting a $1 million campaign, but they only have a $200,000 budget. Your professional duty isn't just to make it work somehow. It's to be the voice of reason. You've got to analyze their request, have an honest conversation, and agree on a final, achievable brief before you move on. Okay, so with that solid foundation in place, now we get to build the most critical part of the entire proposal, the core strategy. This is where you're really going to separate yourself from all the competition.
Let's be crystal clear about this because it's probably the most important takeaway of the day. The channels are not the strategy. They are just tools in a toolbox. Your unique value, the reason a client is going to choose you, is the strategic blueprint you design and the logic that connects every single thing you propose.
And the first pillar of that blueprint, defining exactly who you're talking to. The old way of just saying males 18 to 34, well, that's just dead. It's useless. Today, a winning persona is hyper-specific. What's their annual income? Are they married? Do they have young kids? The more data-driven and precise you get, the more powerful your whole strategy is going to be.
Next, you have to choose your angle of attack. Are you going to lead with a real-world event? Or maybe an out-of-home campaign? We're talking billboards and public ads to build some intrigue. Or do you start digital first? Or maybe you lead with some amazing content that you then amplify with paid ads. This single choice dictates pretty much everything that follows.
Your timeline is also a strategic tool. You have to align it with the client's own business rhythm. I mean, are there product launches you need to support? Can you leverage big holidays like Mother's Day? And crucially, how are you going to stack your volume? Are you going to go for a huge splash in that first month, or are you going to build momentum slowly over time? And that idea of volume stacking is directly tied to how you allocate the budget. You could front-load your spending to make a really big impact in that first month and capture all that early attention. Or you could choose a totally different model. See, there's no single right answer, but you must have a clear reason why you're allocating the budget the way you are. That is strategy in action. The strategic architecture is in place. Now we build it out. It's time to detail the execution plan with absolute clarity. Because, let's be honest, a great strategy with sloppy execution is still a losing proposal. For every single channel you propose, you need to include these 6 things: the time frame, the specific budget for that channel, the buying model, like cost per click or cost per acquisition, the targeted persona, the KPI for that channel, and a visual mock-up. You gotta show the client what you mean, no exceptions. And really, it all just comes down to consistency. If your timeline starts with meta ads, then your first execution slide has to be about meta. You have to follow your own logic. Using the same layout for every single channel makes your proposal look incredibly professional, and more importantly, it makes your strategy super easy for the client to follow.
All right, we're in the home stretch. You've presented your analysis, your strategy, and your execution plan. Now it's time to bring it all home with a conclusion that doesn't just end the presentation, it seals the deal.
And this is such a critical distinction. Do not end with a recap. A recap is lazy, it's just a copy-paste job. What you want is a true summary. A summary synthesizes your core idea. It restates your strategic vision in a few powerful sentences, and it reminds the client of that one big idea that makes your whole proposal unique. And once that proposal is sent, the work still isn't over. The final step in becoming a master proposal writer is self-reflection. Win or lose, you have to have the ability to critically review your own work. It's really the only way to make sure that your next proposal is even stronger than the last. So I'll leave you with this. Go ahead, pull up the last proposal you wrote. After everything we've just covered, what's the one thing you would go back and change right now? Answering that question, that's your first step to building your next winning proposal.